Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and I thank you for coming to my channel. I'm entitled this video A Musical Minute. I'm going to, expand on a question that I got from one of my subscribers. It looks like the pronunciation is Profiter Group Truth, but I said Professor, so I really apologize, because I'm not quite sure which one it is. But the question read, or his question read is, I have a question. What are your thoughts on Muddy Waters and how much influence has the blues and jazz played in your playing? And I have to, plead ignorant on this, because Muddy was before my time. My mother loved Muddy Waters and blues, and I used to hear it in the house growing up. But from what I know about Mr. Waters is he was one of the people that kind of put blues on the map, so to speak. And a tremendous talent, a very great guitar player, singer. And a lot of people, play like him or want to be like him. So, I apologize because I try to not speak on stuff that I don't know nothing about. So I'm not going to try to improvise or lie or anything. But that's what I heard and that's what I knew. The second question is what and how much influence has the blues and jazz played in your playing? And to be honest, really none. I mean, when I used to start soloing, when I first started learning how to play guitar, people say you have a bluesy feel. And that's because I was running the blues scale. But I look at, and I enjoy both music. I love jazz and blues. I look at blues like this, and I'm going to make this statement, and I might get some flack because I knew I was going to get some flack from the traditionalists when I did that video on chord progressions and the key signature nonsense. There's some people that don't want change to come about. They want to leave it the way it is, regardless if it's not working or not, and they're going to scream and shout at you because you're trying to come up with something innovative and say that this works better than this. But that doesn't mean that this is better than this. It just works better, So I learned a long time ago, and my videos speak for themselves. I got 2,300 videos of me playing everything, and I searched on the internet, and I have yet to find anybody singly that got as many videos and covers as myself. And there are other people that have been here twice as long as me that don't have those numbers. So it tells you that apparently what I'm doing is working for me. And it can work for you too. You can cut through the nonsense as far as studying things that you won't never need or use. Just focus on the stuff that you need to focus on. And my DVDs for sale 1 through 4 will walk you through what you need to know, and you can play. Plain and simple. But as growing up, listening to blues, it was kind of considered during my era grown folks or old people music. And one thing that I noticed about blues, and it's not good or bad, this is just my opinion, that it was depressing. The majority of the blues songs was about people sneaking around on each other and cheating with each other. And it was really nothing never positive or uplifting. That's why it was called the blues. So I kind of stayed away from that because I'm like, I'm an optimistic, upbeat type of person, and I want to record and play upbeat and inspirational stuff, not nothing that's going to kind of take you down and make you feel bad. I ain't got no money in my pocket, I guess I'm going to sing the blues, stuff like that. That's just my opinion, so I really didn't do too much. And another reason why I didn't do too much blues is because blues have a very distinctive formula, very distinctive, and it has a formula. And the majority of the formula was the same in every song. The only difference was the key signature was different. So it was the same formula in a different key. So it's like I'm just recycling the same thing in another song, just in a different key. So, that just didn't do anything for me personally. But again, I'm not knocking blues. I love it. I used to go out and enjoy it live, when I was in my younger years. But that was one reason why I kind of stayed away from me playing it, because I'm like, I really don't want to do anything negative or depressing and sad, And the jazz thing, I love jazz, but back in the day, nobody could touch those great classic guys, Coltrane, Miles Davis, those guys were, I think, extremely gifted, and they were in an era where everybody studied and studied hard, because in jazz you do have to know key signatures because they do a lot of improvisation. The majority of stuff is not scripted or written down. It's like I'm in the key of A flat, let's do this. So I had the utmost respect for jazz musicians and gospel musicians, because neither one of those types of music is a walk in the park. I mean, this stuff now, you can play with your eyes closed, just 3 chords or 2 chords rocking back and forth. That stuff back then, key changes, tempo changes, a lot of different chord changes, You name it, it was in there. So most of us just wasn't good enough to try to do the jazz thing. But as I got older, I started doing some jazz sets and started kind of getting into it. But it was not something that influenced my playing, because what influenced my playing was the first person that really just blew me away rhythmic wise was Nile Rodgers. When I heard him, I was like, I want to be like that guy. That's how I want to play. I want the guitar to be just up there in competition with the keyboard play, because if you notice, Nile Rodgers stuff is more or less he's kind of replacing the keyboard play. He's the guy that's taking on the chore of the chords throughout the song, and the piano and the majority of those Chic songs were background, accents, flavor. They wasn't the driving force in the compositions like the Isley Brothers stuff. If you really listen to it around the time Chris Jasper was writing most of that stuff, it was heavy keyboard and letting Ernie loose on that solo thing. So hopefully that has answered your question. And until next time, thank you. It's been another musical moment.